I think I'm funny.
How are you? Never mind. Never mind. Never mind.
Whatever that was, I feel like it was about to be insulting.
It's not a well formulated joke. It would come out completely wrong.
I like that you're like, I thought about this partially, and it's just a bad idea.
Yeah, it's not good.
Okay.
Can you guys hear back reverb or double? Okay, cool. Because I'm on my laptop speaker, so
I think sometimes, but
if it's loud, yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So here's what we're gonna do. I saw this the other day, and I thought it was just too amazing to not use. I stole the idea from a DM that I really like online named Runaway Robot. And I would like everyone to start the day, or start the session, by rolling just a d20.
just one.
Yep. Just one d20.
Oh, there they are. It's so busted. It's so smooth. I guess this computer sucks.
How do you just roll? And
You should be able to just go down to
It's in the bottom left.
the bottom left, I think.
I rolled a 3, so that's really good, right?
Yeah. That's not one of the worst possible numbers you could roll.
Yeah.
And 15. All right. So this is great. Elliot, I would like you to recap the last episode from the point of view of Perrin. You don't need it. I'll fill in other backstory stuff, recapping where we are. But what was Perrin going through in this last episode?
Oh God. Okay. All right. Hold on. Let me get into character real quick. I'm actually not in character.
Real quick.
I'm going to recount this from the perspective of one of Perrin's great grandchildren in the future, as a story that has been told. Right. This is just phase 1, so I don't have to be in character. So, okay. So in the last episode, the first episode, Perrin had arrived to Icewind Dale and had been there for about a week after a pretty arduous journey from Cholt, and was surrounded by a number of curious, interesting, and slightly sus individuals in a giant, an elephant, and a half barbarian. But in his point of view, being in a really, really foreign land that's exceptionally cold, he needed a group of people to be with. And given that some woman had approached us with a task, and me, Perrin, knowing that there was, he's here for a reason and he's got some things to get done and can't just be alone, went with it. So we went into town to do investigations for solving a series of murders that have been going on, and came across some activity at the town gate where some dwarves had come back completely mutilated and bloody and shook, to the point where several of them sort of stood very statuesque, staring at Vom, basically having been attacked with what they believe is a yeti of sorts. And we took it upon ourselves to go out into the blizzard to go find their sled, which contained quite a lot of iron, what they used for their livelihood. So in a lot of ways, this was for a good deed, but in order, with a ultimate goal of buying some favor within the dwarf community in Icewind Dale, trying to get ourselves some form of assistance down the road. Basically, at this point, he's just kind of going with it because he doesn't have a whole lot of other options, and he's freezing. He's not meant for this. He's half elf. He's not big. He's not burly and strong and coated. And it's just kind of go with the flow situation. I think the biggest problem at this point already even is the fact that he's already being picked on for being slightly smaller than everyone else. Actually quite a lot smaller than everyone else. He was misidentified as a halfling, which was a little bit. I mean, to be honest, it was quite infuriating. But I kept my cool, right? Like I was respectful of the situation. And at the end of the day, like I think we'll come out stronger for having this little bit of bonding. So the sled situation, we marched out. I almost got lost a few times because it's impossible to see. We found the sled. We found a decapitated dwarf, which was absolutely insane. And decided to push forward and found a bunch of sort of like gremlins, goblins stealing the iron. And after a series of sort of attempts to intimidate them, most notably from Vom, who just walked at them, which, to be honest, I don't know how that didn't like stop them from stealing in the first place. Because if this giant 7 or 8 foot elephant is just walking to you without any sort of hesitation, that's a little bit, suspect. And in my impatience, probably from the cold weather and just being a little antsy and anxious as I did throw the first strike at the goblins with a firebolt, which thankfully we had that because I didn't have any other spells, and just kind of went with what I had inherently from my ability set. And we won. We won the fight. They ran away. We felt quite triumphant. Vom touched me and healed me, which was an emotional moment that I'm sure will endear me to him later down the road. Hopefully, maybe. It's very, I don't know. I witnessed Rinaldi tame some polar bears, which was incredible. I hadn't seen anyone do that before, just out in the wild. And then we took that back to town, and we're home, and we're waiting for the next step. So that's my long-winded recap of what happened.
That was incredibly good recollection.
Yeah,
bravo. Jeez.
Thanks.
So just a couple little things. We did meet the sheriff while we were there, who kind of, as you were all greeted in Icewind Dale, as you returned back, as you were greeted back in Bryn Shander, you were greeted by Sheriff Markham Southwell. He seemed to be a little off-put by you all arriving in that goblin wagon, but led by polar bears, and sort of let you know, you're not bringing those inside, but you seem to be some good people and appreciate the work that you've done. And basically, you all left him to deal with that, and the dwarves came and said that they were very, very happy that you all had retrieved this all to them. They gave you a bag with some gems, each worth 50 gold each. But additionally, you all had been sent out by one of Rinaldi's longtime friends, Hlyn Trollbane, in search of not dwarf iron, but in search of a killer. A killer who she believed was named Sefik Caltro. She said that Sefik was a mercenary guard working for Torga Icevane, who is a merchant leader that was well known basically for racketeering up and down Icewind Dale, shaking down merchants, shaking down suppliers, things of that nature. Someone that nobody wanted to mess with, partially because of the company she kept. And it was kind of on your way to go investigate, as there was rumors he might be at the Northlook Inn. You all jumped into action in order to help those dwarves, and for that, something which they very, very much appreciated. So where we are now is we, kind of resume seeing our party as they've just walked back in. They've, the dwarves are making their way back into the Northlook Inn Tavern, sort of clapping that the one who had been kind of leading the way had been kind of clapping his brethren on the back, saying it was all going to be all right. These people were good, and as they walk away, Runa, the sort of leader of the group, turns back to you and says, "If you're ever up in Kelvin's Cairn, you will be welcomed here by the dwarves, by my brothers at Clan Battlehammer. You don't understand how much this meant to us. Let's go, boys." And off they go. So it's relatively late in the day, as you're just looking around. Seems some of the guards have run off to go let the proprietors of Black Iron Blades know that their iron is outside, and you see it's starting to get, a couple sleds are being brought in, and with the iron loaded in, it's being brought through town. So it seems like that's all well and good. But now it is, time for you all to take your long-earned rest, it would seem. Where would you like to go? There is the North Lagoon, which you're just outside of, but as I will remind you, it can be a little bit of that kind of cartoony feel. It is the most well-known one of the most well-known taverns in town, but it is also very, very it's a rough and tumble kind of place. So you're welcome to go get a drink there, stay there for the night. There's also Rinaldi, you've lived here your whole life, so you would know the kind of the inns and such. Not that you've stayed in many of them, but there is the Gelden Stag's Rest Inn. A little bit hoitier, but it is it's a quiet inn. And then there's also the Hooked Knucklehead. And if you're just looking for a drink, there's Kelvin's Comfort.
Would it be possible to have a map to see where those items are?
Oh, fantastic. Thank you for asking. Let's do that. There you go.
Okay. So red circle is where we're at right now.
Yep.
Where would Rinaldi say that these other items are, or do I get to...
Here, I'll do a couple of little things here.
Yeah.
So, we've got right there, that yellow box is the Hooked Knucklehead. Oh wait, no, that is a different thing.
Whoa. Wait.
This yellow box. Let me move that. It's here. Come on. Can I not move that? I can't move my... There we go.
Guys, you know what's great?
What?
Any color on white background.
Just not yellow, please. Well, like, the yellow box is fine, but yellow text would be a no-go. Unless you hate us, in which case, go for it.
I mean, I do hate you, but that's...
Wait, you couldn't get rid of the text, so you just put it out of the town?
Yeah, one sec.
Wait.
It's there. Nice. Okay. So that's
Okay.
That's the Hooked Knucklehead.
This.
All right.
Here.
Ooh. Yeah.
Kelvin's comfort is, jeez Louise,
Oh, you know what? You guys say
here in purple.
Okay, so I'm from here. My mom was an innkeeper. We were, or she worked at the bar or at a tavern.
Oh yes, so she probably would have worked at Kelvin's comfort.
Okay. So then I should have friends there.
You would know someone there. You would know Sir Beric Nyleth. Yeah.
So maybe we head over there, see.
I want this.
See if maybe he knows anything about these murders. If there's
Oh wait, no.
a tavern, he would probably
You probably
have heard some stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys can head up
What do y'all
right on
think?
up. You guys can head right down through town. Is that where we're gonna go?
What do you guys think? You're
I
on mute. You're still on mute.
Still muted.
mean,
It's my favorite.
Yeah, I think we should go.
every single time, like
It's fantastic.
every game.
I'm sorry.
I love it. No, I love it.
I'm only human.
Okay, so you're gonna head through town down to Kelvin's comfort. Yeah, you guys don't look too beat up, so you probably won't feel too out of sorts. Plus, it's the biggest tavern around. So you all walk along through, and let me grab one thing. Ba-ba-dum. Okay. Let's do this. Right. So you guys are walking on in to the tavern. Louder than I want it to be. Sorry. I need to lower that by a lot. Okay, there we go. So you walk in to the Kelvin's Comfort Tavern. You see, a big, large oaken bar met with, there's a few, tired-looking guards that seem to be just off duty. Some of them you might have actually just seen outside. Some merchants, gathered around tables, seeming to discuss, different orders of business. It's a assortment of individuals, humans, dwarves, a handful of elves. It's quite the eclectic group. But the smell of, warm, you can smell, warm foods, some basic herbs, kind of fill the air. And you can see on some of the tables there's a bowl of looks like some sort of stew or chowder that looks, quite frankly, very good. As you kind of look around and see there's a few spots over at the bar, and there's an empty table at the corner, and there's a series of chairs over by the fireplace. As you look around, a dwarven woman comes by. Oh, my dearies. It's a bit of a busy night. You take a seat wherever you like, and I'll be with you in a moment.
I'm gonna go sit by the fire.
All right.
I say that a bit, abruptly because I don't have any. The cold has withered my patience, and I don't mean to be rude, but I'm but a cold, small half man. So I'm gonna go sit. Does anyone want to come with me?
I'll go join you by the fire. That actually sounds
Thank you.
really nice.
Nice.
I think I am gonna go see if I can find my buddy.
Bomb. How are you feeling?
I follow you.
Quietly.
Yep.
Thanks. Okay.
So
Are you gonna sit in a chair or just stand?
I'm going to kind of flip my coat out or cloak and just kind of sit cross-legged.
on the ground.
All right.
Yeah, crisscross applesauce. That's fair. I sit on a stool by the fireplace and like take down the hood and kind of like rustle out the snow from the beard, and just sort of clean up a little bit and just shake off.
All
I'm
right.
comfortable. We're good. No one can kill my vibe, as they say in other places. It lands far, far away.
So as you all, you guys warm yourselves by the fire. Rinaldi, you head on in, and I was incorrect. I was looking at the wrong thing. Beric Nyleth is not the person you know. Though you might, he's a name you might recognize from around the bar. He's not the proprietor who you know. You know the owner. His name is Ogden Flamebeard.
That's a much easier name for me to remember, so
Yes.
that's great.
So Ogden
So,
is a dwarf.
I call him Beardy.
You call him Beardy.
Mhm.
You would know him. You've known him since you were a little girl, and you
Which
would
is why
also
I call him
probably
Beardy.
know you're the only person who can call him that, because he is well known. He stands for no bullshit in his tavern. Like, he's been known to kick people out into the square if they start a ruckus. He is fiery, and he is well known for his Flamebeard's Fire Brandy that he sells. It's a signature drink in this tavern. So you look around, and you see he's off. He's doing that classic, barkeep thing. He's got a big silver stein or pewter stein that he's just cleaning out, and he sees you coming. Oh, Rinaldi, dear, it's been too long. How have you been?
I lean in and give him a hug,
Gives you
and
a
I
big
say,
hug back.
me and Louie were just in the area. We had some friends. We wanted to say hi. How have you been?
Oh, doing our best to stay warm. It's still hard to believe how crazy it's all been.
Business
But-
seems to be booming for you.
Oh, and it's the strange part of my line of work. When things get dark, people seem to want to find comfort, even if it's a little liquidy. Yeah.
Can't blame him for that. I was wondering, we were hearing some really weird stuff about these murders that have been going on. Have you heard anything about that?
Yes, it's peculiar stuff indeed. It is unusual. Things are things are relatively peaceful in the towns. So, plus that business with the ice knife, I find that unusual as well. But it could be all folktale for all we know. I mean, some men over the other day were speaking some just outrageous stories of pirate ships and up in the North Sea, and one shooting stars crashing into the snow. Strange business. So I don't know how much stock I put in it, but why the sudden interest?
We saw an old friend in the square the other day, and she was talking about it and saying that the authorities aren't really looking into it. And I know that you know as well as anybody else that I care about this city and I want to make sure that everybody is safe. So I'm just trying to hear anything that I can. Actually, do you have a minute? Do you want to come sit by the fire and chat with us? And see if maybe you and my friends would get along about this?
I don't have much time, but if you have friends, they're likely going to need a drink. So, let's, why don't I go over and get an order from them?
Get one for yourself too, won't ya?
Of course. As he says that, you see he's got a little bottle that he just kind of picks up and pulls back and then screws the top back on. And he grabs a couple glasses and follows you on over towards the fire, towards your friends.
These are my friends. This one over here is Vom. He's a little bit scary the first time that you see him, but I promise he's really sweet, we think. Hopefully.
I don't know if I've told anyone my name.
Okay, so this is this weird dude who's just following us around ominously. We actually don't know if he's cool or anything because we don't know anything other than that he's scary as fuck. But you know, he helps us out, so we're kind of, you know, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. We got this Q boy who, I don't know if you've noticed, he's actually the best looking guy in this entire place. So, you know, I have my eye on him, but, you know, don't tell anybody. So
Q
anyway,
just starts
here
to
are
like
my
blush
friends.
a little bit.
So
I like blush, but like have like a serious face. I'm like trying to kind of hide it, you know, but I can't because I'm like really pale. So like whenever I blush, I just turn bright red.
So as this all he is taking in a lot. Oh, Rinaldi, you've always had some interesting friends, but the most interesting one of late had been a mouse. But he looks over at Vom and Q and Parent. He's like, well, he takes a step over to Q. I know I've known her since she was a little girl. Best not to trifle in things you're not prepared for, son. He kind of gives you one of these. And he's very clearly trying to give you that, like, you just met the father vibe.
Okay, Dad.
So, looks like most of you are new in town. Have to say, looks like you were out in the cold for a bit. You know my good friend Rinaldi. So, and he puts down 4 glasses on the table next to Perrin. And he pulls out a bottle from the back and says, "It's my special brand." And he turns the label and it's got a hammer and like a big beard, kind of as a logo. And you kind of notice like the beard is very clearly supposed to be his beard. And he's like, "Flamebeard's Fire Brandy. You're never gonna find anything like it." He pours a generous pour into each of your glasses. He says, so Rinaldi says you're looking for someone or you're somehow involved in things today. But, so tell me, what can I help you with?
you guys gonna talk to my pal Beardy over here? I was telling him about the scary murders that have been happening, and the city is all gonna die, basically, is how I feel about it. You know, I was thinking that maybe you
We didn't
guys
hear
would
that
have
conversation.
some questions
I think
for him.
I think first we should say thank you for the drink, and raise a toast. If that's all right with everyone. So I would like to raise a glass to Flamebeard here for good times, Flamebeard times. Cheers.
Beardy.
Cheers to that, friend, and
All right.
good to meet you.
Question: would I have been able to overhear their conversation?
Are you still with the fire?
Roll me a perception, I guess.
I also have big ass ears.
Oh, that's true.
I get that. I respect that.
Hey, can we break story for just a hot sec?
Yeah.
Did no one pick up on that Lost in Translation reference, or no? Am I just that bad?
I didn't get it.
I didn't get it.
You guys
I think it was lost in translation.
Yeah, I want to make that joke again, but it's just half baked. I'm not quite there yet. Anyways, never mind.
With that, you probably didn't hear as much, but you probably positioned yourself to kind of keep an eye on things, and you probably saw the mannerisms that you probably would gather she was talking about the business of the day, and part of that business involved your initial mission, since we're still on the same day that you started. So you've got half an idea, I'd say. Well, Rinaldi, it seems your friends are enjoying the drink a bit tonight, but as far as the murders go and all that darkness, I haven't heard too much, around here. We hear lots of crazy stories, but I had heard there had been a similar murder out of Targos, but I wasn't sure if there's been any other places.
How far away is Targos from here?
Oh, I actually have an exact answer for you. Give me 2 seconds. It is. Oh, it's not far. It's about 2 hours or so on foot. An hour or so with sleds or other such.
Does this sound like something you guys would want to go check out next? We don't have any other leads.
We could maybe do that. We could maybe leave first thing in the morning, kind of get there early as it's warm, or just warmer. But maybe we can ask a few more questions and.
Oh. What else do you know? I'm sorry I can't be of more help, but what have you found out about all of this?
Not too much so far, honestly. We know about the icicle situation. Gosh, what else do we know, you guys?
Have you heard the name Zephic Caltro?
Oh, Zephic Caltro. I feel like I've heard some word of him. I believe he was in the employ of Torga. She was in here not that long ago. None of her men were with her. I've drawn a firm line with her. I don't need any of her business in here. It's a little tough sometimes, but we've managed it all right.
was she there to kind of shake you down?
No, I've been here in Bryn Shander longer than she's been shaking down the poor souls here. So I would say it wasn't something where she was trying to shake me down, but I'd say we've come to an understanding.
What business did she have here?
Same business as everyone else. Warm food, good drink. Bit of a way to relax a bit, from what I understood.
Was there anyone else anyone that she spoke with frequently that you saw? Any common interactions?
Give me a second. That's a interesting point you bring up.
They don't call me Investigator Perrin for nothing.
You sure about that?
Do people call you that?
Do
I've never. I mean,
well, they
I know I
would.
don't
You're
met
one
you,
to
but
talk, aren't you?
They would. They would if they did. You know what I mean?
All right. Well,
Steven
I'll-
is the
I'll refer
king
to you.
of saying they call me something, 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 and then forcing me to call him whatever he just said so that he can actually say that people call him this thing.
They
So
call me it.
you don't really have any room to ask.
I have a lot
people
of
call
room.
him anything.
What
I
do
have,
we-
I have so much room. I'm smaller than him. I have more room physically. You know what I mean?
What do we call
Yeah.
this guy though? Hey, what's your name? I turned to the big guy.
You poke him? I would poke him. I tugged at his shirt earlier, and he didn't like it very much.
I just kind of give him a little like friendly, just like the tiniest nudge, just to like.
My name is Vom.
I mean, sorry, I had a little too much to drink there. That was just a reaction.
So, is he sitting there for a moment? He says, "No, she's usually pretty well reserved and doesn't really speak to many people. She knows she doesn't have that many friends around here. Though there was once she came in with a tiefling fellow. I didn't quite recognize him."
Okay.
A tiefling?
Yes.
Do we wanna-
Did
Strange
you
thing
happen
to
to hear anything about where they were headed or where they were going?
Well, they believe Torgs came in from East Haven, and they've been here for a day or two, and they're likely to head out to Targos next. That's generally the route she runs.
Well, I think all signs point to Targos, no? Everyone?
Do
As
it.
much as I don't want to go back outside.
I think we should head out first thing in the morning. I have one more question for you though.
Mhm.
Have you heard of a man dressed in, regular like non-winter clothes, just kind of out in the snow?
Roll me a persuasion check. Excuse. That sounds a bit foolhardy, friend. I've never heard of it. But whoever it would be, it must either be mad or terrifying. Anyway, if you need anything, well,
I mean,
you
we'll
can-
let you get back to it.
Yes,
I know you're
if-
really busy.
if you need anything, you can holler, or Romola is running around. I'm sure she can get you anything else if you like any honey mead or anything like that.
I turn to my adventurer friends and say, where were you wanting to spend the night tonight? Do you want to try and stay here? Do you want to try and go to one of the other ends?
I think we're already here.
Yeah, I think we're settled.
Can we afford this place? If it's really bougie?
So...
Can we pull some
Like,
strings?
I don't want to be rude and ask
All
for a
these friends.
discount,
This
but I don't know if we're in that.
is solely like a beer hall. It is a tavern alone. There are
Tavern
no
only.
rooms. He has no
Okay.
rooms to let, other than like
For
his
that-
own
for that service.
personal
Okay.
room.
This is Kelvin's comfort, right?
Yes.
It's not providing that much comfort.
No.
That's true.
Just liquid comfort.
Yeah.
You
Okay,
would-
so with the hooked
Hey, Vaughn.
knucklehead,
Make me a
As
history
we
check
leave,
real quick.
A what?
I'd like Vaughn to make me a history check.
History.
History?
Mm-hmm.
9.
9. Never mind.
Explain yourself.
It's not how it works.
It's just not how it works. All right. So your other options for places to sleep: Geldenstag's Rest, the Hooked Knucklehead, or the Northlook.
Is there anywhere we can get a discount from, connections with Sir Flamebeard or Rinaldi?
Rinaldi hasn't spent many times at in the inns themselves.
Right.
You might know, Rinaldi, you might know Scramsax. You've probably crossed paths with him a time or two. He's the owner of the Northlook. So you've met, he's pretty gruff. Doesn't really. He's more
probably not
Vaughn-like.
gonna give us a discount.
He's not going to give you a discount, but he won't.
Yeah.
He won't turn you away.
Rinaldi, are you homeless?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Little bit. So I have a hut that I made from scrap that is outside the city walls if you guys want to hang at my place. But I don't have any kind of heating or protection, so I don't really think that Perrin specifically will want to stay there. No, yeah, I didn't think so. It would be free, it just survival is kind of key in that situation, so.
Yeah, a little bit.
So yeah, we can stay at the Northlook. I'll come with you guys and see if I can shack up with Q.
Yeah. Let's do that.
All right. So you head back through town. Are you getting any more drinks while you're here? Or are you gonna?
Yeah, I'll down another.
Can I buy a bottle of Firebrand whiskey? Firebeard whiskey?
Fire brandy?
You gonna carry it or
Fire
what?
brandy?
Sure. So you come up to him are you gonna go up to the bar and ask him for just a full bottle of it?
Let me check my gold.
Should be under equipment and then the top right.
Did we already sell our gems?
I was just about to ask. We have
You have
not
not
sold.
yet. No.
Never
Are
mind.
We need to
Are
sell
you
those
actually-
before Targos.
I like open my pockets and then kind of realize that I don't really have all that much. I'm like, oh, never mind. And then
Offer a trade.
Offer
a trade. You can barter.
We
There's
can
Bryn Shander.
we can carry some bottles to another town and we can sell it for profit.
Can
Offer a gem.
All right, I'll do that.
Or, I mean, whatever you think is a fair price.
All right. So you're gonna go up to him. Oh, it's a Q, right?
Yes, sir.
Uh,
You can call me Q.
Sometimes he prefers to remain anonymous.
oh, well, whatever your choice is. What can I do you for, son?
Well, I would love a bottle of that fire brandy. Incredible drink.
Well, for a friend of Rinaldi, I'll cut you a deal. Usually a full bottle can be a bit pricey. It's a original brew. Normally it would be about 4 or 5 silver. I'll give it to you for 3.
I could do that.
He pulls out a bottle and puts it on the table. Or on the, on the bar,
How
on the
much?
barkeep.
How many gold? How many silver is a gold?
10. It's all metric.
Okay, cool. I'm glad to see that even fictional worlds don't use the imperial system.
Wait, say that again. 10 silver is a gold.
Yeah, so 3 silver.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'll buy one.
How do we deduct that from our gold? Is there like a decimal system?
You can make change.
Yeah, it says adjust currency. Like if you click on the gold thing, it pops up with this whole like
Whoa.
adjustment thing.
I'd like you to roll insight for me.
Insight.
Why?
Is that INT? No, here it is.
That's
Sorry.
intelligence. Insight. As you look, the bottle, it looks like you can tell this is like he must be applying the labels to these bottles himself, because it's a little bit kind of peeled on. Like it looks like it might have been another bottle at another time. Like kind of where you see the label, there's actually like another. You can see like kind of the corner of another label underneath it.
I grab the bottle and just kind of turn away.
Have you paid him?
Yeah. I'll, sorry, I thought I said that. Yeah, I'd take out a gold piece and put it on the counter and slide it to him.
He hands you some change back. Well, my friend, take care and enjoy that drink. It's you won't find much like it else here in the Dale.
Thank you, sir.
If you need anything else, let me know.
Will do. So as I walk back to the group, I kind of start picking at the label with my thumb, but like kind of keeping it close to my chest.
Mm-hmm.
Don't really want it to be kind of seen, but I just start working on it while I make my way out to the rest of the group.
Okay. It is. So you see underneath how much of this label are you gonna peel off?
I guess like enough to see if there is like another label.
Yeah, there's definitely another label underneath it.
Okay, enough to be able to recognize or decipher like something about the label.
So you see, it is you see Mirabar written across the top of the label. And you would actually recognize, I'd say you would recognize Mirabar because it's along the Sword Coast. And it is a city just south of the spine of the world. So it's actually not too far from where you're from.
I just slipped the bottle into my pouch.
Cool. So we're back with the rest of the group.
Oh, we're outside walking over, right?
Yep.
Gotta
heading
figure
out.
out where we're going.
Okay.
All right, so you are heading through town. You know, it's getting a little bit later now. You see, the marketplace is, pretty much all, closed up. There's a few small, braziers and fires here and there with people where people have, are staying in for the night or staying out for the night in some other cases, unfortunately. Rinaldi, this is something that you're well familiar with. People would, bundle themselves up if they didn't have a place to stay and kind of huddle for warmth around small campfires and things of that sort. Something you've done many, many a night. And you walk through the smell of, smokes and, some odd meats here and there mixing with the mud and muck of the day kind of fills the air as you hear, you can pass by, one, house versus another, hearing just little bits of chatter. And you find yourselves back at the Northlook Inn. You look out, you see the gates have closed, and you can see in the walkway in the road some deep grooves where it looks like they probably some carts had taken the iron back away from where you guys started. So heading inside.
I want to go inside.
All right, back inside. Fantastic. So we walk in.
Question.
Yes, sir.
Is there like a staircase up to like the top of the wall? Like, are there?
Yeah. There's some stairs up towards like the guard posts. They're not. It's not.
Did we ever like? We just left the polar bears there, right? In the cart.
It would appear that you left the polar bears in the cart to be dealt with by the guards.
The sheriff said he didn't like us having the bears, and that, or at least you as a DM were like, I don't know if they're going to let you in the city with them. I think it was the sheriff.
Yeah, no, the sheriff very specifically said he was not letting the polar bears into the city.
Yeah.
Can I go ask a guard?
Yeah. So you Oi, who goes there?
Vom.
And you see him. Oh shit! Must be that bloke from. We heard about you earlier. What can I do you for, sir?
Where are the bears?
The bears. Oh fuck the. Oh. They nearly took a bite out of old Lars the other day. They were earlier there, but we got him outside. Got him out to the. Once we took all that iron off and got it on the cart, we just cut him loose. But I swear those things nearly ripped old Lars' arm off. But he's good. He's good.
Turn around and walk away.
All right. Well, it's real pleasure. Thanks for coming by. He's like very confused by the whole interaction. It's kind of like starts to just wander back towards the gate. So the rest of you guys walking inside.
I let them know.
Yeah.
Oh, you let them know all that.
Th-
All right.
They let the bears go.
Alrighty. Let me do one I gotta do one thing over here.
I was kind of hoping we would have the bears for later, so that's a little bit of a bummer. They didn't even ask us what they wanted to do with the bears.
I rest my hand on Perrin's shoulder. I just say the bears are where they belong. They belong in the wild. They are not our instruments.
All right.
Get your
So,
hand.
as you guys
Sir.
walk in, the tavern is substantially louder than where you were before, and you can see immediately as you walk in, it's a rowdier sort. It's a rowdier bunch, and you look around, and they're not all the most savory of types.
Are they sweet?
Definitely, I would not. Also, not a word I would use either. As
Are they
you look,
salty? Are they salty?
yes, very. You look around and you see there's a right above the bar where there's an old, what is this? Old human man, balding on the top, big like mutton chops, mustache, that whole deal. He looks rough. You can see he's got scars on his arms. And you see a huge warhammer sitting up on the mantle behind the bar.
Do I know the story behind this warhammer?
You do not.
Is this very ornate, or is it just a large block on a stick?
It's pretty. It's not. I wouldn't say it is decorative. It is well crafted, though. It has kind of those like spike kind of things, kind of flaring out from either side. It's got a very long, probably 5.5, 6 foot long handle. I mean, it is a massive, massive hammer.
Well, I mean, this is the kind of
from here. You probably would. You don't know much about it. You can't. You see it's there. It definitely commands the presence of the room.
I turn to Vom and I say, "Hey, this is the place that people come to get hammered. You know what I mean, Vom? You know what I mean?"
I start walking towards the hammer.
So, the hammer, you barely even notice as you get a little closer. You realize that the hammer sits on the counter, and above that is actually also a mounted deer head. But you actually barely even notice the deer head because of how big this hammer was. You're like, oh shit, there's other stuff in this room.
I'm behind the group because I had to pause for a minute and just take the burn that I didn't get a response. So on over.
I'm still walking towards the hammer. I'm like laser focused, like Patrick in that one episode where his eyes just like going in and out, and
Yep.
I'm just like hyper focused on this hammer, just staring at it.
Hi, boy. What can I do you for?
Like kind of shaking up a little bit because I'm like, whoa, I was just very distracted. We'd like a place to stay.
We?
Yeah.
Is the rest of that motley lot with you?
You mean the elephant and friends? Yeah. The
Elephant in the room?
yeah, the elephant in the room.
Elephant. What the fuck?
Language?
Yeah, we need 4 rooms, and I look at Rinaldi, and I'm like, 3 rooms?
Three.
4? 3? 3? 4?
Three.
3. Just 3.
I'm used to flirting to try and get things out of people because I'm flat broke.
So, oh, all right. Well, yeah, I think we can arrange something. I know adventurers when I see them. So, oh, come on. He gestures to the rest of you guys all to come up. I assume you want something else for the stay. 3 rooms. It's going to be 8 silver pieces per room. Yeah, that'll do. I can make it a goal today, and you'll get breakfast in the morning.
I honestly could really go for breakfast. What do you guys typically do for breakfast?
It's typically a bit of bread, some potatoes, and probably some sort of fish stew type thing. Something hearty to get you going.
I give him the gold piece.
I'm not even gonna hesitate.
How
There
about
is no
you?
debate.
How about you, big guy? Looking up at Vaughn.
You're mute.
I slowly rummage through my pockets, and I finally find a single gold piece, and I just hand it out to him.
All right. If you're gonna cause trouble, all I say is take it outside. Try not to break nothing. And he pulls out 4 tankards and starts to fill them with a bit of ale. Says, "Well, welcome to the North Look."
And I take my tankard and raise a glass and say, "For a good time, Northlook times." Cheers. No one responds again. And I go to my room by myself.
I was really hoping you would break your webcam right there.
See? Alright, so Perrin's heading straight
Perrin
up to
is
sleep.
very upset now. Perrin is like one liquor drink in from the flame beard guy, and he's like a little buzzed, so he's like slightly emotional. You know how he gets. And like he's a little he's just he's soft right now. He's in a foreign land. He's just a little sensitive.
Me and Rinaldi are walking back to our room, and I just kind of nudge Vom a little bit. I'm just like, "Hey, man, I know we all just met, but don't you think it's super weird? This guy's like pretending like he's like our best friend. Like we like celebrate every occasion together. Like we're just kind of like a rowdy group. Like, am I the only one weirded out by this?"
Yes.
Well,
all right. So you guys are all going to sleep. I have to say it because this is more the elephant in the room. So Rinaldi and Q, you're sharing a room.
We sleeping?
I hit that.
Hey.
He doesn't have to roll for that?
Oh, no. I would like you both to roll performance.
Oh, God. Which I have
Please don't.
0 for.
Take that with what you will. A 9 and a 13.
And the
Q
crowd goes
also has
wild.
a -1 modifier for that. So, congrats. All right. So, with that, you guys all just go to sleep. Relatively uneventful night. It's you hear occasionally here and there a couple uproars and the clattering of wood on wood and things like that. But you all sleep through the night, and you all get your long rest. How early are we getting up in the morning?
When does the sun rise, or like, is there?
So it's a weird thing. Is that the sun does not technically rise. There is twilight, basically between the hours of. Let me double check this. Like in the daylight hours, there is twilight. Let's start it with that.
Okay, so yeah, we'll kind of get up a little bit before twilight, have breakfast, and set out.
So Rinaldi wakes up and rolls out of the room dressed in a red polo and khakis a la Ron Swanson. She slicks her hair back a little bit. She's
Handed
like,
out 20s.
where can I get some breakfast in this place?
Yeah, so twilight, just so to the answer. Twilight is from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Otherwise, it is basically nighttime.
Okay, yeah, so we get up at 9.
At 9? Okay, great.
Yeah, have breakfast.
I would like Perrin to make a... Perrin, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
What?
I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Why?
You don't feel good.
Okay. Hold on. Do I just go? Is that in Beyond? Do I just hover over Constitution and roll that, or is there a separate saving throw section?
So there's a separate section. So there's like, if
Yeah.
you're in the
it's
app,
in the-
I think you like scroll down a little bit.
I'm in the desktop thing. I got it to work.
You found it.
Yeah. Well, I'm in the desktop. Yeah. So like, where do I go for saving throws?
Underneath
It's
strength,
like the
dexterity, and
top left.
constitution, it's the
Yeah.
first box, saving throws. And then just
Oh.
yeah.
Did it roll?
Oh.
Yeah.
You get up and you immediately vomit.
Oh God. Oh.
You don't feel good. Like you spend like the first 25-30 minutes that you're awake like throwing up
Okay.
and like running back
Am
and
I-
forth to the bathroom.
Okay.
Or out the window, or whichever your vomiting
Right.
location of choice is.
Okay. So, we've just established that Rinaldi is downstairs, and did we know where Vom and
No. What
Q
about
is?
we're gonna come back to Vom. Q. So Rinaldi seems to be the first one up. What are you doing?
I roll out of bed maybe a little bit later and just kind of put on my clothes and just shruggishly walk to breakfast and start making myself some.
All right. Yeah, as you guys come down, there's Scramsax sees you. Oh, morning, you two. It's a good breakfast here this morning. He hands you a couple hunks of bread and a potato and fish stew bowl. Says, well, eat up. Hope you enjoy it. Where's the rest of your friends?
As he asks that, I miss a step coming down the stairs and tumble to the rest, like halfway down the steps, and make a little bit of commotion. And I like gather myself and stand up. I am not hungry, but I need food. Can someone help me?
I point to Perrin and say, "There's one of them," and then I get up and I start going over to him to kind of help him to the table.
So, Perrin, as you come over, you need food. I'm messaging you something right now. Hold on.
Okay.
Just I'm going to tell you need to check out Discord.
Got you. In my private
I'm
channel?
gonna
Yeah.
turn my camera off for a second, but I'm still gonna be here.
Mm-hmm. So they come over. Q, you bring them over a bowl of that soup. Which it looks like the same kind of soup that you saw last night. It smelled pretty good last night. So I think we're all pretty on board with it. But Perrin.
Yeah. Thank you. Listen, I know you might have like looked at me a little awkward last night, but I really appreciate the soup. I take the soup and I try to drink a little bit of the broth, and before I can even get it down my throat, I just absolutely just like drop the bowl, spills all over the floor, and I vomit all over the place again. Not on anyone, but there is an intensive mess ahead of us, and the smell is starting to override the smell of the good soup. And I really, honestly, like, I've had this happen before. Like, just for everyone's perspective, like, this has been a thing that I've dealt with in adventures. Like, I have a pretty weak stomach, but the one cure to all of this has been Gruyere cheese and bread. Does anyone have Gruyere cheese and bread?
Scrim said, I got some cheese. If the soup's that bad.
It's Mom's old recipe, hangover recipe. It's a elven delicacy, and I need it. I don't know if I'll be able to hold food down for the rest of the day if I don't have some.
All right. He goes back into the back and he comes out with a hunk of cheese. His cheese.
That's close enough. I'm just gonna nibble on this.
I wink at the bartender. I just say, thanks for all of your delicacies. I know that Icewind Dale is just known for, the finer things.
I'm too distraught and uncomfortable right now, and trying to solace myself with this wonderful wedge of dairy goodness to look at you. But silently, I'm actually a little bit frustrated.
So once you have some of that, you're the bread and the cheese, you're feeling a little bit better. You're actually, once you've eaten a little bit, like you feel fine. You don't feel hungover. Your stomach is feeling a little bit better, but like you don't feel hungover.
All right, I'm gonna stick with this. I mean, he gave me a whole hunk of food,
Yeah,
so I'm just gonna nom on this. But like as soon as you guys are ready, just let me know. Like we can bounce. I will help clean that up if anyone wants me to help.
The moment you say that, Scramsax hands you a rag and a mop.
Okay. So for the rest of their breakfast interaction, I'm like off in the corner trying to like clean this.
I'm just imagining a half elf carrying this like giant wedge of cheese, just kind of nibbling on it.
So as like this is happening, I feel like I got half your group working here today. your big buddy's in the back. He's asked to use the kitchen this morning. It's
Elephant front?
yeah. And so Vom, you can kind of like stick your head out now from the kitchen. You walk on in. Some of the breakfast that you guys actually had this morning sounds like, from what Scramsax is trying to tell you, that Vom helped prepare it.
Vom, did you do this? I love this guy.
Do you like it?
It's incredible. You're a great cook.
Yummiest
Do-
fish
do a little,
stew I've ever had for breakfast, let me tell ya.
So as he as you kind of settle back in, he looks at you and says, "Well, you're all right. It's pretty good." You know, he gives you a couple silver back. Says, "I appreciate it. They took a little bit of the work off me." And he does that. He gives you a little bit of silver back, and says, "Hope the advice for where to get some those extra provisions were helpful." So you've got,
Thank you.
got that. All right. So where are you all off to today?
We are going to Targos.
Oh, Targos. Well, seems a lot of folk are leaving Northlook to Targos today.
Did anybody else head that way recently?
Well, some of Torg's men were here last night. This left not but a couple hours ago to get themselves ready. Actually, right around when you went back to the kitchen, they must have just left. Kind of pointing to Vom.
Wait,
Vom,
what?
do you
He's saying that when you went to the kitchen, it sounds like all of Torg's men left the Northlook Inn. They'd all spent the night.
Vom, did you notice anybody leaving?
No.
You were in the back.
Yeah.
You had gone out. You'd gone and done your thing, and you came back. You had stuff. You were focused.
Sure. How many men was it?
It was about 5. Yeah, about 5.
Do you know what?
It was a strange group. That one tall fella, striking, I have to say. But wonder how he ain't freeze his tail off out there.
Oh yeah.
No, just
Was
wore
he not dressed for the cold?
no, just a vest and a light shirt.
You didn't catch his name, did you?
Not sure. I think they called him Cephik.
Well,
Hey, isn't that the guy we're looking for? I yell across the corner because I'm nearly done, swiping and cleaning up my vomit and soup.
I just kind of cocked my head over to Perrin and just kind of give him a look, and then cocked my head over back to the bartender. I'm like, I think we have everything we need. We appreciate your hospitality.
Oh,
We'll be on our way.
If you're looking for them, the best thing I can tell you, they're probably just heading out the gate now. So you best, if you're looking for them, not that I'm trying to
start no trouble, but you likely want to get going soon.
We appreciate the advice.
So you guys about to hightail it out of there?
I think
I
so.
like it.
I'm ready to go.
All right.
I
It's
think we've all
about
had
Are you ready
a
to go?
delicious breakfast.
Yeah, I'm ready.
That cheese did it.
Yeah, I mean, like as our DM said, I was super good to go, not hungover or anything after the cheese and bread. Cheese and bread.
You weren't hungover. You were fine.
Yeah, we're good. I just was not feeling great.
Nope.
That fire brandy, that'll do it to you.
Yeah, apparently it will. So
All right. So you guys are heading out. Where the hell did I put that note? Okay. All right. So y'all head off, and it's only a 2-hour walk there. So you guys walking to Torga, or not to Targos, or to follow behind Torgs.
Is there anything left of or the goblin, whatchamacallit?
You have not looked. It sounds like they cut the the polar bears free, but the wagon might still be there.
Hmm.
Do you guys want to look before we head out?
Are we?
I do want to. Because we're going out of the north gate, right?
Are we going out to the north gate? Or are we going out to the east gate?
Oh, are we?
There is a gate down at the back, but you can. I mean, it's. You
Is
can
it
go.
Targos is
either way.
east from here? Or is it north?
Yes.
Hmm.
It is east. There's like a gate to the southeast. The gate out this way would probably leave you over towards Kelvin's Cairn. And kind of the valley of the dwarves. And basically just tundra.
All right. Never mind then.
Okay. So you guys are all heading through town. Are you trying to? Because it sounds like you guys just missed them by maybe an hour and change. I mean, maybe 2 hours now. Are you guys trying to race to catch them? Or are you just going to try and meet them in Targos to try and track down this guy?
I think we, kind of like recalibrating myself now that I'm not in the warmth of an inn and I'm a little bit more on survival mode. I'm a little less, childish. Turn to the group and say, hey, I think we need to conserve our energy here, and just try to get there in due time. If they're going to be in that town, they're going to be in that town. I don't know if racing to get there is going to be good for us, but open to suggestions.
Yeah, I think we follow at a moderate pace to, certainly not dilly-dally, but...
Is it snowing?
It is. It is snowing. It's always snowing, basically. So as you guys, no other stops along the way, just heading right out. Awesome. So you head on out. You're out on the road. It's cold, and as you're walking along, you can see, the twilight, just starting, and it isn't warmer, but that kind of refraction of light, across the snow does make you feel a little bit better about kind of where you are and kind of how things are going. But all things said and done, it is a relatively uneventful journey to Targos. as you do that.
You're muted, Elliot. I don't know if you know
No, no, no one needs to hear that. So
Okay.
I'm just reacting, like as a person, you know.
Okay, good. All right. So as you're walking along, one thing you kind of notice is, you know, off to, you're traveling west. You're not traveling east. You're traveling west. Traveling west out of Bryn Shander, and as you look to the north, you see kind of through the clouds a little bit and through the snow, the high peak of Kelvin's Cairn. And Vom, I'd like you to make another history check for me.
Why?
8.
It's a big mountain. It's very pretty. All right, so we arrive to Targos, and you're greeted by a relatively similar sight to when you left Bryn Shander. High walls, you know, it's certainly a smaller city, but definitely nothing to be disappointed about in terms of what Icewind Dale really has to offer, because there's not a whole lot of big towns, but you're probably in the second largest, as you would know. You get there, you see the gates are open, and kind of as you kind of look around the long walls that kind of curve out, you see out past the gates there are a few boats out on the lake. This is Lake something that I remember. Totally don't forget it at all. It's Lake Meridwalden. Yeah, Meridwalden, most of you except for Perrin would know that this was a big fishing town. But you know the lake is there, but you also don't see a lot of water. And you could probably put together, some of these boats are frozen in place to where the water used to be. And now it is just solid ice. And so as you walk in, you can see not nearly as bustling of a town as Bryn Shander was. Not nearly as thriving. There seems to be a bit of an air of bitterness to the people, and you see a lot of folk who you would imagine were probably likely fishermen sitting around kind of idly carving things, or, you know, repairing nets or repairing fishing lines and poles, but they're not out on the lake, and it probably has a lot to do with how frozen it all is. So, you know, stop anywhere, or you're just going to kind of keep walking through town, see what you find? So far, you've not found Torgs yet.
Coming into town, is there like a guard post or
Yeah.
something that would like keep track of like the comings and goings?
Yeah, there's a couple guards where you walked in.
I turn to the group. Do y'all think we should talk to these guards and ask them about Zephic?
Yeah, I would say we definitely could. You want to be the one to do it?
just kind of shrug, say, "I guess so," and then start walking towards the guards.
Oh, great. Oh, good morning. How can I help you?
Good morning. We're looking for an acquaintance. I think just came into town. Have you seen 5 men? One of them tall, kind of casually dressed. They come in through here recently.
You talking about the lot from Torgs? I don't know many that really associate so closely with her, but if that casually dressed man is who you think you're talking about, yes, I saw him. They came in not but an hour or so ago.
Do you know where they went? Or where they were headed?
I think Torg's setting up her cart somewhere in the middle of town. Likely, likely just in the marketplace. She usually doesn't keep too many of her men around, though. So if you're looking for her men, it could be anywhere. It could be at the Luskan Arms or the Three Flags Sailing.
Gotcha. We'll check the market. Thanks for your information.
Happy to help. If you need anything else, let me know.
Will do. So I think we should go to the market and just kind of look around, scout it out, make sure that there's no kind of present danger, and just kind of lay low. And then I look at Vom, and I'm like, as much as possible.
Nice. So as you do that, you head into the town square. I hit the wrong thing, and I started dragging everything off of the screen. There we go. All right. So you head to the town square, and you find yourselves. There's a few carts. Nothing too crazy. There's a small cart selling like vegetables and things of that nature. Another with some, kind of an old, kind of seaworthy looking fellow selling fishing poles and lines and other fishing specific gear. And you see a dwarfen woman who looks to just be opening up a cart right now that has a ton of different stuff, ranging from swords to, fine clothes and jewelry, all sorts of knickknacks and goodies.
Cute.
Start walking towards her shop.
Hello. What can I do you for, big fella?
You've quite the lot for sale.
Well, it's we travel a lot to make it worth your while.
Gosh, yeah, you got stuff from all over. Well, I definitely want to look at what you have, but I came here to. Are you buying as well?
For the right price, I can be willing to obtain some good things. What are you looking to sell?
I take out my pouch with my various gems, and I just kind of show her some, not necessarily all, but just kind of a handful of
Oh,
the gems to gauge her interest.
very nice. I know some individuals who might enjoy this. How about give you 40 gems per, or 40 gold per.
How many gems do we have each?
You each get one.
We each have one gem.
Mhm.
Wait, how did Q pull out a handful of gems?
Well, he pulled
I thought
out
I had
all
more
of them
than one.
apparently. He
All-
must have the bag.
Oh, okay.
I guess I do. Gather around here, gang.
Quite the motley bunch you've got.
Quite.
So I've definitely heard the value offer for this, and I look at Q and the rest, and I said, listen, I don't know about you guys, but 40 sounds like way more than I've got, so it's a win-win for me. But we may want to see if we can nudge a little
40
more.
is low. We're not selling for 40 because when we got these gems, a mysterious voice in the sky said that they were worth 50 gold each.
I'd say even the dwarves probably told you they were worth 50. I'll give you that. The dwarves probably were like, yeah, these are worth 50.
Well, we should definitely
Dwarves
try to.
said. So we should get 50 per, not
If-
40 for the bunch.
Do you? I
I'm
mean,
gonna give.
I'm happy to have that conversation if you guys want me to go for the 50. I mean, I'll talk to it.
Let me talk to the money guy here.
Okay. Mike does
He does my sales.
How
Is
can I
there
help
any-
you, sir?
So listen, these gems. I'm not going to talk to you about how we got these. I think the method of acquisition is irrelevant to you. But we have been assured by both locals and what our party seems to describe as divine powers as much more valuable. And while I'm sure that you were trying to make a profit on these, I know for a fact that if you give us 50 gold each, that you'll still be doing fine. We can find these. We can find someone else to buy these. We don't have to go through you because we know these will be valuable in multiple places. So I think if we just bump it up to 50, we'll hand it over right now, all of them at once. No questions asked.
Right. I'd say
All
with that knowledge, with the knowledge of what they're worth, let you roll persuasion with advantage.
Okay, how do I select advantage?
You
Right.
can right click on it and then select advantage.
When I right click,
Or
It,
just
like-
roll it twice.
okay, did it go? Once?
Yeah. I mean, you can go again if
Yeah,
you want.
win.
That's pretty good.
Do it again.
Yeah, we're gonna go with the first one.
Alright. Well, you said I could roll it twice. I don't know.
No, yeah, that's how advantage works. Advantage is you roll twice and you take the higher one.
Okay, well, we'll take the first one.
Yeah, we'll definitely take that.
Yeah, we'll
22.
take the first one.
So she says, "Fair enough. Make you a deal. How about 50 gold each, and but then you take a look and browse the merchandise."
I think that's fine. I wanted to do that anyways.
I'll look at. Yeah, I think that's a fair ask.
Is this a true browse or is this we're getting our makeup done and we're expected to spend $50 at the end?
I'm getting my nails done.
I would ask within that we get our gold first.
So she takes the gems and starts counting out 50 gold.
Wow, she took those out of your hand.
Yeah, she's quick. The moment she's like, you're like, you want your money, she just is like, and starts counting out the gold. And puts it into 4 piles, and there's 4 piles of 50 gold. She's quick with it.
Money, please.
Take my money.
You said 50?
50. That was the deal.
Sick.
I'm gonna add 50.
I don't even reach for mine.
You don't even reach for it. Perfect.
Do you get it? He doesn't reach for it? I like
look
look
at
at Dom.
Mom and I say, "Are you gonna eat that?"
Take it.
Wow.
I grab
I
it.
think
I before anybody can say anything,
everyone is dumbfounded right now.
I grab the money and I just I'll store it. It'll be the
No,
party.
no. Hugh, come on.
I don't want to be on Mom's bad side.
I-
I'm not getting involved in this at all.
Hugh, listen. Like, I helped negotiate this back up to 50. We should at least split holding it.
Fair enough.
25 on your end, 25 on mine end.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, I'm gonna add another 25.
All right.
I'm gonna give Rinaldi 10 of it.
Yeah, I don't
I'll
understand
hold,
why we're not splitting this.
I'll hold 15. Well, it was a joke in that I was grabbing it all, but
We don't know anyone who would just take a bunch of money and then do something reckless with it.
You mean incredibly smart with it.
Look, I invested in a
No.
dinosaur,
in fairness, you got to pay out.
and then I basically broke the game because I had
Dude.
a dinosaur.
Some people win the lottery. It happens.
All right. So as you guys look around, there is a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. I mean, the more you start looking in, the more you start seeing there is random vials of things. There's sets of clothing. There's little kits of, that you kind of look into. It's got some different tools and stuff. There's some weapons, not a lot, but there are some. So, just looks around. What can I help you with?
I think in general, we're just looking at general wares here. We're just looking for a variety of things. We're relatively new in town. I'm definitely new. So what would you recommend someone pick up to make ends meet and get through the day in this environment?
Well, forgive me for making some assumptions, but when people show up with pricey gems that seem to be of unknown origins, I am willing to bet they're adventurers of some sort. So, perhaps we're looking for something that can have practical value. And at this point, she's going to gesture to a bunch of stuff, and I'm just going to list off a bunch of things that are in this this area, and you guys just let me know what you're looking for.
All right.
So we have
You got to roll it off like a like one of those what do you call it, like sales
Auctioneer.
guy? Yeah,
Yeah.
auctioneer. Yeah.
No, please don't.
Do it.
okay.
Yeah. Barscan, gauntlets, go once, twice.
Acid, antitoxin, caltrops, manacles, oil,
No,
poison, ram, spikes,
read it
off like a
size,
human.
forgeries.
Please don't actually do that.
This is
Um,
not good.
There's a thieves' tools kit. There's a poisoner's kit. There is a flask of oil, some iron spikes. There is a frying pan, a spatula, cooking knives, a big thing of firewood, There's a hunting trap, a grappling hook, a crowbar, a climbing kit, a quiver, a bunch of arrows, a blanket,
How much is the flask of oil?
The flask of oil is 2 silver pieces.
I will happily take that flask.
You've got it.
Thanks.
I turned to Vom. Vom, you made such a good breakfast. If I was to buy some of this cooking kit, would you be willing to make us food if we come across anything?
Put my hand on your shoulder, and I open my cloak, and there's like bags of potatoes and carrots in there. Of course, friend.
Let me buy all the cooking shit.
So it is like an assortment. There's like a frying pan. There's, a cover for it. There's like a little like stand to like for a cooking pot. It's enough stuff. Imagine Samwise Gamgee in Lord of the Rings. Like there's that many pots. Like
I turned to Vom. I'm just like, you grab whatever you need. It's on me. I guess it's on your money that you gave me, but
I'm gonna dig through the pile of pots and find the best one.
Just one. All right.
Find the biggest, like just a big pan.
All right. It's a big black cast iron, like good solid stuff.
Do we have a way to hoist this up? Above a fire. Do we have a way to?
Also, can it
so
be
it came
used
with
as a
a
shield?
stand, right?
You just put it on the fire.
Yeah.
That'll be 3 gold.
All right, and then you said that you had like some hunting gear. What?
Yeah, there's a hunting trap, crowbar.
Can you read everything from hunting trap for a bit?
Hunting trap, lamp, lantern, lock, a trident, crossbow, quiver, bow, arrows, tinkerer's tools, carpenter's tools, a mining pick.
Hey, do you have any crossbow bolts?
I'll buy the hunting trap as well.
Oh, cool. That'll be 8 gold for the hunting
Okay,
trap.
8, and then how much was all the cooking stuff? 3.
Just 3.
3. Okay, so
She probably threw in a ladle with it.
Does that include the firewood or no?
No.
For what it's
Okay.
worth, I have a spell at will to create a bonfire. So
we got a fire guy.
we don't
Do we
need
know
to.
that though?
This,
I happen to.
I
Steven
just
knows
said to the
okay.
group.
As I reach for the firewood, you're like, no, man.
You're like, I got it.
We don't need it. It's extra weight.
All right.
We
I
don't
just
need
want
any
that.
extra weight, and then I kind of look at Vom. I'm like,
What was the other thing you asked about? Oh, crossbow bolts.
Bolts, yeah.
So she can give you 20 crossbow bolts for 2 gold.
I will take it.
Cool.
I hand out more gold.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
if there's anything else you need, it's a pleasure doing business with you.
Hey, how do I add them in my inventory? What the heck?
And, should just be a little like.
should be able to manage equipment.
Oh, there we go. Sorry, the thing. It was
Cool.
20, right?
Is there like a rucksack I could use to toss all that shit in a bag and just hook it over my shoulder?
You can buy a backpack. That'll be 3 gold. She said, as you're like looking for the bag, she says, "That'll be 3 gold." And she like looks over at Q, knowing that you're paying for everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very excited.
Anything else, my new friends?
How am I able to see if I'm wearing armor? That would be in my equipment, right?
Yep.
Okay.
I don't need
have
like
any
a
armor.
backpack for the hunting trap, right? That can just kind of be like on my kind of.
No, yeah, you
Stash
can,
or something?
You can stash it somewhere.
Okay.
I'd imagine you guys all probably also have like a bag of some sort
Yeah.
for the most part. Perrin
Is
doesn't.
there any light or medium armor for sale?
Oh, looking to get rough. We've got something.
Looking to protect in the wilderness. You know, you never know what's out there.
So she pulls out what you would probably recognize to be like an elk hide armor. It's a medium armor. Give it to you for 20 gold.
Yeah, I can't afford 20 gold, but I could probably swing somewhere around 8 or 10.
How about 15?
12,
Roll
and
persuasion.
I'll wear it out.
Roll persuasion. Mm, 15 is a pretty hard line for me. I only have one of these.
I
I'll do it.
I give Rinaldi 6. Wait, sorry, 8 gold.
So yep, Rinaldi, you've got some hide armor. It's medium armor.
Okay, and I paid 15.
Yep.
And then I just give you 8.
So you
Yeah.
paid 7. Yeah. Shopping episode.
Stonks. Can I buy stock to this market? To the stand?
I'm a bit more of
I like the stock. What can I say?
I'm an independent.
I like your stocks.
I'm independently owned, dear. So,
Well, I think you're going to the moon.
I appreciate it. Well, if you need anything else, let me know. She starts to kind of move around and it's kind of putting away the gold that she's, made off of you and starting to reorganize her setup.
I mean, we're all paid up, right?
Yes.
You guys ready to head into town?
Yeah, you're in the middle of town right now.
Yeah, we're in town.
Okay. Oh, I meant I'm also just breaking character. When do you guys want to start wrapping in terms of story? Are we at a stopping point, or should we? Is there Mike? Is there a segment we should get to?
Yeah, I mean, I'm good to go for as long as you guys need to. I imagine we don't want to go for much longer past midnight.
So I think we could look around to see if we can find Torgo, or that can be where we.
But
That was
this person,
the person you've been
Oh.
dealing with is Torga.
Well, duh. that was a test.
I thought I had made that pretty clear. My bad. No,
You
you have been dealing with and buying and expressing a wish to invest in Torga Icewind, racketeer of Icewind Dale.
Honestly, she seemed pretty fair. So that backpack was a little expensive.
Yeah, that
I think
backpack
she
was a little
gouged
pricey.
it, but
And then
Makes me
we
feel
also got rid of those gems. I didn't realize it was Torgo.
Yep. Yep. So she looks around. Well, is there anything else? As much as I appreciate the company, you are all rather. What's a nice way to say you're taking up space?
I don't think there is a nice way to say that.
Well, then I won't be nice about it. Get out of the way. Buy something or keep moving.
Thank you for your business.
A pleasure, dear.
And I head on out.
We have no questions for her.
I don't have questions for her. She doesn't seem very nice.
Okay. Okay.
It's gonna be a really weird adventure if Rinaldi's only willing to talk to nice people.
Only.
No,
yeah, we have questions for her.
you should ask those questions.
As you
Okay, great.
As you all, well,
You should ask those obvious questions that we have for her.
Okay, so just to make sure that I'm clear on who this person is, this is the person who
Suffolk
like
Caltro works for.
Yes. Okay.
We cannot let her leave.
Yeah, she scares me.
You just say that out
I'm-
loud.
Do you say that out loud?
Oh.
God
I
damn.
tried. I blurt that out, and I'm like thinking out loud on accident, you know?
Is your friend all right?
Yeah, he wasn't feeling
you-
super hot this morning. I think, he's just a little tired. So sorry
bit of an-
about him.
He's a bit of an oddball.
Yeah, I mean,
Clearly.
we're just a whole gang of misfits around here. But yeah, so we actually just came from Bryn Shander. Have you been there any time?
I just left there
Recently?
this morning.
Oh, really? What were you in town for?
Exactly this, dear. I am a traveling merchant. It's kind of what we do.
You go to Bryn Shander often? I'm from there, and I don't think I've really seen you around.
No. Try to get there at least once a month. We travel to most of the towns, at least the large ones. Haven't been up to Lonelywood in some time, but there's not really much there these days. Haven't been to Dugan's Hole, but that place is nothing worth seeing there. But mainly in East Haven and Bryn Shander and Targos. Occasionally, we've been up to Tourmaline a time or two. But, it's just selling our wares.
Where'd you say you went a time or two?
Tourmaline.
Tourmaline?
Yep.
Do you, I mean, if you're traveling around with a lot of wares and items of value, I mean, I would imagine you have a team of people to carry the weight or make sure it doesn't go missing.
I have some very well trained and very good. They're good at their job. But they're good guards. And they take care of me and my wares from town to town, and I try not to get overly invested in what they do otherwise.
So you frequently just let, when you get to town, you let them about their business, they just go about, or do you have like...
It is, it's not my business really what they do.
Do you any of them socialize? I mean, could we grab a drink and just sort of chat?
They usually find their way to the local watering holes. I try not to socialize with the work, but they find their ways.
Fair. Do they stick together, or do you find any of your staff to be standoffish and kind of do their own thing?
I'll be honest, dear, I don't really pay too much attention to their social interactions.
It seems like a pretty poor way to manage your employees, because considering they're managing your stuff.
Well,
I put my hand on Perrin.
Look
his
up.
head, on his shoulder, like
I'm like, okay.
I think they're the same thing. It's like a palm. It's like
It's like the block of elephant hand. Or he has fingers. He has fingers.
I only have 4 fingers, by the way.
Yeah, he's got
Sure.
fingers.
4 fingers.
I feel this intense weight. There's like a hint of a squeeze, just like a little bit.
I don't squeeze, but you might feel that.
I might. Well, it's like a sensation, right? It's like a, you know. It's like, okay, cool. Well, I appreciate you being as transparent as you are. I'm glad you don't have an HR department.
I have one more question for you. Actually, I saw this incredible, beautifully crafted warhammer while we were in Bryn Shander at the North Look Inn. Question mark. And I see all of these beautiful wares that you have. You say that you've been to Bryn Shander a lot. I was wondering if you happen to be where that came from, or if you know who made it.
Ah. Scramsax's old hammer? It is quite the beauty. I've never actually tried to get it off of him. I imagine he's a little bit attached to it. He was an adventurer many years ago. I believe it was a gift that he was given from somewhere in his adventures. Dwarf forged, good solid build, and a strong hammer, for sure. But no, I don't know the exact story behind it, but I imagine it likely was his weapon of choice back in the day.
Bet it'd sell for a pretty penny. What do you think?
Oh, I'm sure it would. If you ever find yourself in the possession of it, we can have a discussion.
Let's keep in touch. My name's Rinaldi.
Torga Icewind, my dear. A pleasure.
Let's try and grab a drink sometime the next time that we run into each other.
Well, I'll see if I've got any other plans. And if there's nothing else, my dears, I have a little bit of business to attend to.
No, absolutely. Let's get out of your hair.
So,
Thanks again for the chat.
So, as you guys finish up, she, you see, she's actually taking some of the things. She's actually packing some stuff up a little bit.
Are you closing up for the night? Do you need any help?
Oh, no, it's still the afternoon, but, it's... I'm gonna have to take a break for lunch soon, and, I have a couple things to check on.
Where are you going for lunch? We just got in town and we're looking for recommendations. You said you come here often?
I'm getting lunch with a friend.
No, that's okay, but do you have a restaurant that you like?
The boys seem to like the Loxodons. Seems to be pretty good.
Awesome. Well, go check it out, and I'll have to let you know how it is.
Lovely.
Can I use detect good and evil?
Yeah, you can.
I do that.
Remember exactly how that spell works.
So it's my divine sense, not really the spell, but
it operates the same way, right?
I think so.
30 feet. Oh wait, it's divine sense. Let me do that. Let me check that one specifically, because that could tell us a couple things. Divine sense. Blah blah blah. These are the rules. There is I need you to roll insight on this right now, actually. Like, in addition to this. I'll let you do it with advantage because you're trying to, like, kind of tune into it. You get that feeling like there's something evil around, but you cannot sense where. One thing you can tell is it is not nearby. It is like on the edge of your sense.
Okay.
Do we know what Bomb just did, or he's just doing his thing?
He's just kind of doing it. You see he's kind of probably meditating. I don't know. Vaughn, what are you doing? He's probably just being stoic like always.
Yeah, I'm just standing there.
You wouldn't even. Yeah. Okay.
Can you
Actually,
keep?
My hand's
Can I-
still on Perrin's shoulder, so you can feel something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can
You
I,
also get this. You get a brief wave of nausea, but
No.
it passes. Like
Okay.
quickly.
Can Louis roll perception and see if he picks up on it?
Louis.
Yeah.
How does Louis roll?
I don't know. Can I roll on Louis' behalf?
Yeah, you
So-
can. Yeah.
Is Louis like a mirrored stats?
It's
I
fair.
don't know.
Magical critter.
I mean, animals have they sense dangers. You always see rats like running away from stuff before you see it.
You don't want his stat block. I just looked it up. But yeah, you can.
So
See,
just
you can
roll a regular persuasion.
perception. Actually, if you're using him, I'll let you use advantage. Ooh. Oh.
Ooh.
So as you kind of see Vom and Perrin have their moment, Torga's not really, she's busy closing up all her stuff, and Louis takes off in another direction, like down the road, seeming like he has tracked something bloodhound-esque. This mouse.
Alright, y'all,
is.
it's time to follow Louis. Let's go.
Let's go.
And what's this? Sorry, Mark. So you guys go down, and Louis is running towards you, and you kind of lose him around a corner. And as you start to catch up, Louis is now running back to you. And hot on Louis' tail is a large dog.
So first, I scoop Louis up and I put him kind of inside my armor so that he's nice and safe.
And this dog is running, sprinting towards you all. It is a wolf-sized sled dog, light gray fur, and it is dragging a broken leather harness behind it.
I'm
is it still-
gonna roll for animal handling. Yeah,
Yeah, you can do
Approved.
that.
cool.
So he starts to calm down a little bit. The tail is wagging back and forth. He's licking you, and he's, but you see this dog is like panting heavily. It looks like he's probably been running for a long, long time.
Okay, so I'm talking to the dog. I'm kind of saying, "Hey, bud, what's going on? What is his body language like? Like, is he ready to like sit down happily? or like where is he at?
He is frantic. Like he is once he sees you, and once you've stopped and you've kind of like acknowledged him, he is like running out like a few feet ahead of you, and then turning back, and then running back to you, and running back, and then he keeps looking back over towards you.
Okay, well, let's go see what this dog has been snorting and follow it. What do you guys think?
It was cocaine, guy.
Okay.
So
I don't think that exists in this particular. I think it's I mean, maybe. I guess, you know.
It definitely
who's to
exists.
say.
oh, totally. All right. So you're following the dog?
I'm following the dog.
Vom, you were asking something when this started. What was?
Oh no, it doesn't matter.
You? Oh.
Yep.
So you follow.
Following the dog.
All right. So we're all following, and as we follow through, where you get to a modest, a modest home, wooden siding, paint's peeling a little bit in some places. And the dog is now sitting in front of this door, barking and scratching at the door. And just as you all kind of get to the door standing behind this dog, the door opens. And a handsome man in his mid-30s opens the door, and the dog bolts inside. And the man is holding a steaming mug, actually two steaming mugs. And he looks up, and this smile drops from his face. And he looks at the dog, and he looks up at you, and he says, "Oh, dear."
Is this your dog?
Why, yes, dear, it is. It's,
Yeah, my name's Rinaldi. You don't have to call me dear. Thank you, though.
I'm sorry, honey. It's just... Come.
I turn around and leave.
You just walk away from him.
Don't call me honey. Bye. I'm glad that I gave your dog back. Let's go on our fucking adventure. Come on.
I'm gonna use Divine Sense again.
You don't sense anything.
Literally nothing. Not good or bad, just nothing. Just a void.
So Rinaldi starts walking away, and this man is like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be so abrupt. I was expecting my husband here today, and it's well, boy here something must have happened."
Was your husband out with his dog?
Yes, he's a guide. He was taking a group up to see. He's working as a guide, and he loves to climb the mountains. The other day, Garrett was hired by some adventurers to lead him up Kelvin's cairn. His plan was to take the adventurers to Caer Konig at the foot of the mountain, get their gear, and then lead them up. Garrett took 6 dogs with him. Boy here, and it looks over to the dog, and who's kind of sitting at like what is clearly like you kind of see there's like a couple different pillows like along the side of the house, like it's like his spot, you can tell. Boy here was Garrett's favorite. He raised him from just a wee pup. But Boy would never leave his side unless something truly terrible had happened. I'm sorry, I shouldn't ask. I appreciate you letting Boy home.
I just kind of look at Vom and just try to get a feel for what he's thinking.
Rinaldi, you started walking away, right?
Oh yeah, I'm still on my way down the path because I didn't hear any of that. I like bolted.
Yeah,
Bolted.
I'll turn around and just walk away.
I'll follow Vom.
Alright. So you guys head on off. So you're heading back to so Rinaldi, as you're walking away. Perrin, you're the last one to leave. You hear as you walk away, the man reaches out and just grabs your cloak. He says, If you do end up on the mountain, I'm sorry. It means I don't mean to pry, but you look like adventurers, and if you end up on the mountain, please look for him. And it says it. You can see his eyes are kind of glistening with tears, and starts to wipe them. And says, "I'm sorry." Shuts the door.
I stand there for a second, being like, why did I not leave first? Then join the group.
So
Savage.
So Rinaldi, as you walk off, you hear a little bit of commotion over to the side. You've kind of found where you hear some more stuff, and you recognize a sign of the Luskan Arms.
The what?
The Luskan Arms. It's the place
That's
that
the
Torga
lunch
mentioned.
place, right?
Yep.
Oh,
Okay. Do you guys want to go grab a table, and that can be our
Yep.
save point, so to speak?
That sounds good to me.
I like that idea.
So you guys head into. You guys are about to walk inside of the Luskan Arms, and we will call it